welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. I am humbly excited. I am just so filled with joy and inspiration and thrilled to start. As that opening theme is playing, man, my heart just starts going and I find myself humming along and I'm excited. Maybe like a little kid sometimes. But brothers and sisters, let's join together like that today. Blessings to you all who are stopping in, have stopped in, will stop in, may tune in at a later time. Blessings to you all. I sincerely do appreciate what this life is. I mean, and here, let's jump right into the thumbnail and the topic. We'll jump right into this stuff. Happy Wednesday. Be happy, smile, be fearless. Most importantly, be you. You are unique and special. No one can replace you. No one at all. And my thought with this, right? It is through the one creation, right? Through the one created multiplicity. And so with consciousness, the awareness of being, so the one created multiplicity, so the gift of individuation may become realized through you today. It's a lot of words, but I believe it's profoundly true. The Creator created multiplicity. It created all forms of life in the existence in this paradox of time and space. The one creates multiplicity so that the true gift of becoming you, knowing you, being self-aware and divine and noble and true. Those are the keys. That's the gift of life. Life is given so that we may realize who we are and what the world is. And when you start looking into who you are and what the world is, you'll soon find there really is no separation. You are the world and the world is you. And at least from your perspective, there is no separation between the two. So the idea with this of smile, be happy, be authentically you, love being you. That swings us into the topic of today, right? Finding meaning in life. Life can throw a lot of curveballs, right? It can bring us a lot of, it's unpredictable, but that's part of the beauty of it. I mean, the paradox of life as a human being, it's so mysterious. It's so beautiful with the gift of consciousness and spirit, right? We are the physical form, but the form is not the limit of who we are. We are the mind, right? The thoughts that we think and the things that we choose to do. We are that. And yet, that's not the limit of who we are. The mind and the body are almost like limits on the divine spirit of you, the divine essence that is within all things. I don't know. I've been in deep I've been in a lot of deep contemplation today, brothers and sisters, exploring massage again. See, praise God sincerely. I know how great, I understand the appearances, right? I know a lot of the rumors that people are talking about me, but let me swing back, right? I thought I had right before I was getting ready to go live. My thoughts of you, whoever you are. I mean, I see a lot of names, right? I see a lot of names in, and sometimes I see faces, right? Um, but I know in this personal experience of me, there's a lot of people. I've captured a lot of attention, and I know I have found my way into the hearts of many of you, right? I appreciate you genuinely. And what I wanted to offer to you, right? For those of you who are listening who, there's a little confusion, but you're betting, this guy Jack, he's on the right path, man. There's something to this kid. I want I want you to trust that your faith and your trust in me is well placed. Because I don't quit. I don't quit. And my goal is to become a part of this major happening that is happening here on earth. And I want to bring as many people into this as I can, into the idea of creating a world of love, a world of peace, abundance, prosperity for everybody, regardless of your color or what dirt you were born on. Man, I see a world of the future where humanity, where we stop acting like such ignorant, foolish, selfish children, and we kind of bring some dignity into what it means to be a human. I mean, I know we were all raised with these ideals of morality and what it means to be moral and good, but looks are sometimes deceiving, and America is not, it doesn't look that great on the outside, I'm sure, and it really isn't as great as it wants it to be sold, right? America and the way the world is today is not really as glorious as the American dream, the media and Hollywood and all of this wants us to believe. Brothers and sisters, I'm getting off topic here. Finding meaning in life. This is it. Finding meaning in life. We collectively in humanity, I've been learning. I watch a lot of videos, documentaries, lectures. I've been learning a lot about history. And history shows, I mean, it's not, you don't have to be an expert to know this. History shows that mankind's pretty confused, right? Never really had, well, there's theories, right? There's theories of mythology about times past, this amazing land of Atlantis that was so advanced, and people were connected. So there's theories and mythologies of these civilizations, the potentials of humanity. Oh man, I'm really getting off topic from where I was heading. There's these theories of what is possible with mankind. Oh, where I was going through history, right? We've become corrupted. Mankind has become corrupted and confused, and we have got sincerely. We don't have to do anything, but I encourage you, whoever you are, invite your friends, your family, and consider this. I think what has been happening, I think our standards have dropped a little too far, right? I'm hearing the news from just blips of the news about this political game that they're doing, and the candidates are literally like being reduced to this garbage and then garbage. No disrespect, but Trump and Biden, neither of them have leadership. They don't they don't demonstrate the qualities of leadership that I raised my hand as a young man to serve and to honor. And I know there's men and women in this world right now in uniform all around the world, right? American uniforms and other uniforms, right? Hey, and not just the military uniforms, but the costumes. Like, well, I don't want to disrespect the uniforms of the police, you know? Humanity has been deceived, brothers and sisters. It's up to us. We get to choose, all of us. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'm pretty sure that we each have the opportunity to choose. We get to choose from the ideas that we discover, the ideas that we create. Well, we actually discover, or at least the ideas we consider. If we don't consider ideas, they're not, it's not an option, right? It's not something we can choose. But I want you to consider sincerely, what could your life be like from wherever you are? And again, I don't know who you are, but I know the questions I asked for myself. And so, from wherever you are, with what you have learned, the talents you've gained through and discovered over this lifetime, even considering the handicaps and the challenges, maybe that the old sports injuries or whatever, we got these things that limit us. Point is, if you chose for things to be different, that you willed it within yourself, that you know what, Jack's right, the past was good enough, right? It got me to here, it got us to here, but I think it's time to do better. I think it's time to do more. And if you sincerely looked at your life with the will and the determination for more, for better, for greater, not just for you and not just for those who you may recognize, right? And want to bring in close. I'm talking about, you know, those affected by those who you love. Because we all do affect each other. And how we affect each other, it creates ripples and it creates chain waves, right? The good and the bad. And I see, it seems that, well, you know what, brothers and sisters, I see a lot of people. I've discovered a lot of people like me in my efforts to learn what is true. People who are on the truther path or whatever you want to call it. People who are seeking knowledge outside of what the mainstream is offering. I've seen a lot of people losing hope, losing despair. This isn't the time for that. Okay, this is our lifetime. Oh, that's right. I made notes for today. This is our lifetime, man. Um, so let's join together, right? You don't have to join with me, but join with others, right? Who you can resonate, who will agree that it's time. It's time to join together, like this lifetime matters. Does this lifetime matter to you? Or are you just waiting for retirement, waiting for the next war, waiting for the world to move you forward? I mean, I'm asking this question, and you can sound kind of like a dick question. Does this lifetime mean anything to you? I thought my life did in the past, but it didn't. I didn't appreciate it. I did not appreciate the life I had been given. So if you're feeling that way, if you're lacking appreciation for the life you have been given, because maybe the challenges are there, maybe like me, you're going through your own dark night of the soul. right? Maybe you're going through your own periods of separation and perhaps isolation. Because as we change, sometimes the people around us, they're not real agreeable to the changes, and people will get afraid and they'll push you away. And then sometimes as you start growing in yourself, you look at others around you like, what am I doing? I mean, you're fun, you're kind of comedic, but why am I spending my time with you when I could be like with success or growth or health or development? I'm sure we've all got these friends, right, that we spend time with. I don't know. Let me not generalize or assume too much, especially from my perspective, man. Hey, I have not been paying much attention to the chat, but blessings to all of you. Sincerely, thank you. I guess it's not a ton. Yes, please the like button. I'm trying to figure out this social media stuff. And hey, for the members, I'm finally doing something. I'm getting more regular in the posting. And so it's not a huge thing, but the members you get 3 days advance on the shorts that are released. And I am thinking, what can I offer? What can I share? What would be fun? And I've really been considering. Sorry, I didn't even look at what I was bringing up. um, I have really been considering a video for massage. Some simple ideas that what really helps me feel good, because I'll try to tie these around, right? A while ago, I chose within myself that while I had been doing good, right, especially after overcoming my addiction with booze, my habit of drinking. And I'm not embarrassed. I'm not ashamed of the things I accomplished as a union leader, as an officer, as a rep. So I was feeling good and I decided it's time to do better, time to do more. And hey, we got our first guest, and I'm just going to bring him up, man. I can tell these stories anytime. Welcome, London. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother Talcott. How you doing today?
I am feeling blessed. I really am.
Good stuff. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Good stuff.
Life is interesting. Life is really interesting, but what is bringing me joy is, well, God has been showing me humanity, right? People like you, London, like you, and I'll give a shout out to Mr. Pie, um, Jeff Pizer. Uh, so him, Jesse. There's been a bunch of people in my mind over the last day or so, and I'm feeling great. This life I'm living, though, it's no joke. It's kind of it's pretty confusing. There's a lot of unanswered questions, and I'm excited yet anxious, and I don't know what the next chapter is going to bring. But I know that there's some amazing people in this world, and I trust. There's a reason God has created all of us the way we are. We're here to bring in the new world, man. What do you think of that? I think you know that, London.
Indeed, I think some of us is here for that objective, but I do believe, there will be humps in the road. Everyone's got to play their part. Just like a system, a computer system, it has its viruses. Just
Yeah.
like this is it.
Yes, brother. Um, but here, my mind ran off from where you were at. I was thinking, the new world is here. You're right. There's these viruses and these mind traps. We still got to get out. There's still some parasitic energies here that we're dealing with. But I said in my mind a while ago, and so this thought just came up again. What if the new world is here already? And the new world is the world of love. It is of faith, of joy, of abundance, of prosperity. When I started learning the stuff about our minds, the power of our minds, those are the energies I focused on creating habits for myself, right? Feeling abundant, feeling whole, feeling love. That's the new world. And what you said, brother, about the corruption, I was listening to someone else earlier, another inspiring guy. The note, right? Freedom. What is freedom? He was describing the Christic nature, right? The way, the way shown and taught by Jesus, the Christic nature of being. What that is true freedom. And that's what we are each here to realize. Freedom, true freedom, it's exercised. It freedom can be exercised in harmony with divine will. So that's what Jesus was teaching is you you surrender yourself. This is my understanding is we surrender ourself, our egoic mind, and we allow our will to become the will of the Father. Not in an you got to be careful you're not replacing the Father, but you submit yourself and ask yourself, what is God's will for me? What is God's will for this moment? What is God's will for now? That's what I've been practicing.
Nice.
And you know what? It feels about right. And it feels about time that these ideas become more mainstream in our world. Because here's my other note I wrote down. Today, the society we've got, it represents the fractured state of humanity. So as we overcome the parasites, the darkness within ourselves, as we help each other overcome the confusion, the deception in each other, we'll become more healed, more whole, and together we will no longer allow this corruption in our governments and our economics either. That's what I see coming forth. And if it's possible, well, it's my goal. I hope to believe that there's a chance God has been allowing me to prepare myself as a messenger, someone to communicate these ideas, right? Not just to the American people, but to the diplomats and the people representing all of the warring nations and states. Seems to me, it seems to me that I I don't know, I believe it's time for the world to know peace.
Well, going back to this world order, what we were just speaking on, and since you touched on peace, I feel like if the new world was to come forth, an old world has to die.
Yes,
An old world, something has to die for something new to come forth, in the
ab-
sense of beginning.
absolutely. That's what the Bible talks about as well. We gotta allow ourselves to die. Something I learned from experience too. And I know there's people, I've seen people in the chat,
Mhm.
name names, but there's people facing some darkness and despair, right? What I realized in hindsight, when I was feeling, well, when I was feeling suicidal long ago, when I was considering ways to end myself, that was my ego. My ego wanted me to die. My body, my spirit didn't want me to die. My spirit wanted to live. That's what I didn't realize. I was conflicted within myself. My mind had taken over. I'd been denying my heart. I'd been denying my spirit, and it allowed me to get confused. And I can't say I've ever been possessed by dark demons or entities. I can't say I have experienced that. I can't say I have not. You know, I know there was times in my, I know there was times where I was through a dark period, a long time. That was hell. So here's the point. Yes, old ways will have to die. Old ways will have to be let go. They'll have to be sacrificed. They'll have to be surrendered. But I'd rather the ideas be sacrificed. I'd rather the ideas be surrendered
Mhm.
than people ending themselves, right?
Mhm.
And, it's life. When it's not understood, life is quite painful and confusing. But I'm telling you, when we get out of the way, when we allow life to be, and you bring the idea of God and love into the moments of your day, life is much simpler than what we've been led to believe. Because literally, all we have to be is now. So be loving, be kind, be authentic right now. And then stay now and stay authentic. But London, this world we're living in, the one we were born into, it has us clinging on to the past as though the past is more important than the future. And it's this inverted mindset that it's literally it has driven people insane. So this is what I mean, London. If we can get the attention of some psychologists, some people accredited who might agree with the perception that many of these mental health diagnoses are actually very curable, very treatable. I don't know. I see a mind disease throughout the world, and it is a spiritual battle. I want to be a part of the light because I'm confident that is the winning side. I don't think it really matters if people want things to change or not. I think the direction, well, I know my goal. I know my goal. And years ago, God allowed me to believe that I could be a part of these ideas, right? And I've spent a lot of time picturing it, and I don't know how it's going to happen, but now I feel like, well, I've talked about it so much now I can't give up on it.
I wanna touch on something which you just said about you being on the side of light, right? I hear what you're saying there, but at the same time, I feel like it's good to be on both teams. Not saying that dark is the bad team, darkness is the bad team.
Right. Right.
Darkness is just the things that we're yet to understand. Once we move in, the light moves into the dark, then we see things for what it is, we understand it.
I wanna say what's up to London and Jack. What's going on?
Swan and
Blessing.
Moose. Hey,
What?
before we move on quick, Moose, what is green velvet, bro?
What is what?
Green
I.
velvet.
What do you mean green velvet?
I've seen a few people say London's green velvet. I like him. I don't know what the hell green velvet is.
Uh, I don't know. Some kind of cake or something?
Okay, I'll take that.
Like,
Cake's
brother,
not too bad.
I honestly don't know what a green velvet is, but I've never heard that term in my life.
Oh, me either. Is that you in the image there, Moose?
Yeah, that's a 30-pound yellowtail.
Damn, that's beautiful.
Damn.
It was a big ass fish 2 days ago. No,
Oh,
yesterday.
really?
Wait, what was yesterday? Tuesday? Yeah, it was yesterday. It was a long ass day yesterday.
Really? That's from yesterday. How cool is that, brother?
Nice.
Dude,
Yeah.
you are living an adventure.
You want to know the funniest part about it?
Yeah,
I gave the fish away.
good.
You know,
I'll,
that's the thing, man, is a lot of people think, "Oh, Moose is all about himself. Moose is all about himself." And it's like, "Nah, man. And I'm not looking for kudos either for giving it away. I'm just saying that such a prized fish, that's the biggest fish that I've ever had in my hands. And it was a beautiful fish. It was a fun day.
That is cool. Um, life, life is an adventure. And here's the thing too. We can do pretty much well. We have many options available for us how we're going to spend our time. And I tell you what, time with family, doing adventures, dude, when those opportunities come up, say yes to life. Yes to life. The more you say yes to life, the more meaning you're going to discover in your life. The world doesn't, the world actually, oh, interesting. The world profits from our excuses and blame. So, in which case, it profits from us saying no. However, the other side of that no is the forgotten word of the slave. Slaves forget to say no.
mm.
It's true. Go ahead,
I
London.
like
Sorry.
that. No, no, no. Keep going. I like that last bit. Keep
Yeah.
going.
I think that a lot of times, right? Like I wanted to say no about going fishing, right? A good friend said, "Hey, you want to go fishing tomorrow? I know you're leaving on Friday. I know you have a lot of work to do." And I was like, "Man, I got a lot of work to do." And I said yes. But a lot of times in my life, I've just said yes, and I really didn't like enjoy it. I shouldn't have said yes. I was already over exerting myself. I
Right?
was in over my head. And I think a lot of people forget how to say no because they're trying to make other people happy. This instance, it was for me. It was all for me because I wanted to feel the wind in my hair. I wanted to go out on the water one last time before I left. I wanted to share the fish with other people. And I knew that I wasn't going to be able to take it with me or put it in my own fridge. I just knew that, like, that's what I wanted to do. So I said yes, even though I should have said no because of my commitments. But people need to learn how to say no. No to evil, no to things they don't want, no to, taking medical things that they shouldn't take or they don't want to take or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like you, Jack, when someone comes up here and disrespects you, You know, sometimes you don't say no. You're like, okay, I'll give him a second. I'll give him a second chance. I'll give him another chance. And sometimes I think even you forget to say no. Just be like, get the fuck
Yep.
out of here.
Yeah. You know, that is true. Hey, London, I don't know if you saw El Perro coming through with the words for us. Green Velvet, Silky Stank, and Smooth Papa Jones. Those words sound good together. I'm not sure exactly the meaning, but it makes sense.
It's better than calling him an Uncle Tom.
Hey, yes. I want to actually Margo is offering and Daisy May. Let me engage with the chat for just a moment.
Go ahead.
Daisy May, interesting question. Respectful question for Jack. If your son was in your situation, what advice would you give him? The distinction there would be I'd be able to give him advice. If my son was in if it wasn't my son, if I was speaking to someone else's son in my situation, I would encourage them, well, see, this is where I'm different. I would encourage them to have faith, and I would inquire, what can I do? What can I do to help? Margo, where'd your comment go? You had something interesting there about smart and goals. Yes, Margo. There. If he's going to grow, if he is going to grow and hopefully be able to articulate what his goal is, he's going to recognize he has not brought forward a smart goal. And then let me first start with my disagreement, but I appreciate the smart. And where'd it go? Smart. Here, my goal has been very clear, very short, very simple. I hope to communicate with a number of different people, specific people, ideally. So my goal is very specific. It's a conversation. Conversation is very measurable. It's very attainable. It's very relevant. My request to speak to the people involved with my past employment fiasco, my ex-wife and my son. Time bound. Well, I've got time limits that people are pressing on me, and I don't really impose my time limits on anyone else. So, Margo, your characterization of me continually, seriously, dude, your doubt in see, Margo, it's your doubts and your disbelief that keep you confused about me. If you could resolve past employment issues and regain that employment, would you be looking at a different situation? Many go through these things in life. Daisy May, you're correct. I've explained. Let me not here. I'll take this as another opportunity to explain this again. Okay. I'm not so much trying to resolve my past employment. Okay. The past was what brought me to here. Now, where I sit today is I feel that as I talk about often, and I've talked about today, that the world is quite confused. The world has become deceived. We could have a much better, more prosperous, abundant, a much safer world for everyone. We could have a much safer world for everyone if we didn't consent to immorality and corruption in our governments and in our corporations. So I've been suggesting for a long time now that a world without secrets and lies is possible. It's not only possible, it's, I believe, practical. And so if my goal is to help try and find a way to end legal secrets, which is, I know people have opinions about that, but if you can believe in my reason for wanting to do that, well, the United States Postal Service is a path. Okay, the local government is also a path. The local community is also a path. Brothers and sisters viewing the stream, you can be part of the path. We can all do whatever we want in this lifetime. We get to choose. And the meaning I have chosen for my life is, while it may be imperfect and clumsy, my goal is to be a disciple for Jesus, a disciple of the Christ, and share the truth of God's love with the world. Welcome, Tommy.
Okay, what kind of disciple are you? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's the meme line. It's the meme line. I have to just yet again come up over your abundance of wrenches. Could you please share not Austin Murphy's most recent chat, but the one where he cries about why he had to block me in the chat? I'm going to embarrass him very much. He very much deserves this. He's dishonorable. No, Austin, I blocked you yesterday because I haven't seen you since that time you ran out on your veteran bet that you didn't come clean on. And whenever I saw you after all these months, you came to my channel just to drop Mitch's Cash App in my chat. I can't stand that stuff. I already got all Mitch's socks blocked, so he can't just show up and drop his Cash App. It's like back when Facebook had everybody saying first. Like now there's people just dropping their Cash App, spam the chat. Austin, I won that bet. I said your payout would go to veterans on the street as your charity. I'd tell them this is from whatever your rank and whatever, Austin Murphy, because we have homeless veterans among refugees. And you just, it's like even Razvan told you, you should have paid up if you were going to make the bet. Wasn't trashing. I asked a question, but that's not why you said you blocked me, Austin. You said it was because I blocked you on my channel, and I very much did. But I have a new thing, Jack. I'm not going to block anybody as my profile, and then I'm only going to block people from appearing on my channel. You get it?
Yeah, I think so. I think I
And
get
just
it.
one critique from yesterday.
What do you think? What do you? Sorry,
Go
I'd
ahead.
like to know what you think about this, Miss Margo.
It's not up on my big screen yet. Give it a second.
It says, when I go up on panel, Jack becomes upset quickly and throws me off panel. That is not productive.
Samesies.
Huh?
Samesies. That's what I have to say. Like Jinx.
Well,
Jack,
that was
you're a habitual tosser, yeah. But I just wanted to critique like you, Lindsay, Flow State, London, and Jack. I can't believe how much you guys let Paul get away with yesterday. Like he was tossing underhand softball pitches. I could have nailed that dude on every other thing he said.
I wasn't trying to engage or get a victory. I was actually.
Well, it's not like you're there to fight it out with him, but he needs to be checked. Like that's why.
Sorry to interrupt.
He's already got one channel he mod gods. You don't have to protect him. He comes here and like just manipulates you and starts it all over again.
Tom, I understand. I see what he and others are doing. I don't know if
that's why we don't respect you to like be all schmoozy with him.
I don't know if they see what they are doing. I don't believe people are trying to sabotage me. I don't believe people are trying to hurt me. I just believe that they're confused and they don't actually know what they're doing. Now,
no, Jack, I'm not up here trying to defend you or worried about people. I mean, he took all your Talstock money. He's already screwed you. I'm just saying I'm just saying the dude's always contradicting, hypocritical, and I love to stop him at every turn he tries to make.
Yeah. Um, I realize the appearance. People have been, people have found disappointment in me for a number of different reasons, and one of them is the way that I've dealt with Paul. So I'm doing the best I can. My hope is, sincerely, well, my hope is to find peace and to move past some disagreements.
Oh, I think you'll find peace whenever you aren't doing your panel, you don't have that house to take up your time, and really just the sky's the limit because you can't go any lower. I've been on that street life.
Well, here, Tom, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I mean, here, this is what I'm dealing with. Margo has had disagreements with me for several years. And
Mhm.
I'm sorry that she feels that way, and I'm sorry you may feel that way, but let's look at the facts of right here and now. I'm not upset quickly, even with you, Tommy, even though you wanted to commiserate and enable her narrative.
No, no. Are you talking about my Judge Judy thing?
I'm talking about I'm trying to communicate with Margo and other people who have found disagreements with me. So
That
far, you wanted to enable her
No,
position.
no, just that chat about you get mad and throw them off. Yeah, you do
Okay,
that to
well,
me and a lot of people.
Jesus Christ, you're totally ignoring the point of what I'm saying.
I'm not enabling her when she says you do that to her. I go, oh,
Okay,
me
well,
too.
Tom. Okay, well, Tom. So, what is my goal?
I don't know, but I'm still asking you if you got like 3 or so weeks left. Do you still want to do the thing where I try and mediate you and Margo? I just want to schedule it because I want to make a cool background and make us like a setting for it.
What I've been trying to communicate is Margo is not subject to being thrown off the panel here. She's
Okay, let's move
welcome
past
to
that.
join. We could have conversations like adults. I don't need this nonsense of people enabling her, thinking that she's above me and that there's no way to reason with Jack. This is bullshit, dude.
I'd almost rather have London calling me a PDF again. It'd be more like, I don't know, it'd be more progressive. But Jack, is what I'm saying is like, I will take you and Margo and just pretend I'm just meeting both of you, just hearing your thing, because it's an opportunity to show people my unbiased.
Do
Uh,
what you want.
well,
I'm
I
willing
mean, we got to
to
schedule it. I'd
do.
like to do it at my channel. Is that okay?
Okay,
You can
fine,
show up and restream.
fine. Work the details. Tell me when. I'll be there to support. Whatever.
Oh, you tell me. I
I
think
don't
I'm
have
pretty open.
faith. I don't have faith in Margo's authenticness or her willingness to cooperate. And I don't know if I have faith in your follow through, Tom.
I know nobody does. That's why I'm like you, Jack. I'm looking for two people that I can demonstrate my
All
whatever I'm
right,
gonna
well,
call.
Tom, get it done.
I just
When do you
don't know
want to do
when
it?
you and Margo. When does Margo? Are you and Margo always like these hours?
I have no idea. I'm pretty regular. I do my stream at 3
For about a
p.m.
month, yeah.
Mhm. Um,
Can you hear my dog?
I hear something, I
Hey,
guess.
man. I just got back from applying for this loan. I hope they get back to me so I can just take him to the emergency room. I mean, he's fine. He's been like this for like a couple weeks, but you can tell it's like bothering him.
Hmm. That's
It's not like
unfortunate.
detrimental to his life, but I do want to get whatever's up his nose out like ASAP.
Hmm.
I don't know when's good for Margo.
I don't know. We're in the now.
Yeah, I mean, you're free to like, come over and just restream it so you're doing it on your channel too, but I want to make it a thing on mine, not to take advantage of you guys, but I'm gonna make us I'm gonna try and think up like this setting, you know, my custom
Yeah,
background.
no, you're all about. I know.
I'm trying to innovate, you know. Everybody's got an open
Totally
panel.
missing any relevance, any point.
Well, I don't know. I want to start from scratch because I'm not real squared away on the you and Margo thing. So if both of you come with the from
Well,
the
how
beginning
about
thing,
how
what are you
about
trying to find? Resolutions?
welcome, Margo.
Hello.
Do you have interest in participating with Tommy's idea, or do you have availability, I guess?
I'm here at Tommy's disposal.
Right. I want to be prepared for it though. I'm kind of having a day. Like I just stopped up because Austin was being mod god, and I wanted to kind of tell you guys, like, come on, man, put it to Paul. It's been 2 years. Everybody knows his loop. Just especially Flow State is who I'm really disappointed in because it's like, don't compare me to a list of narcissism traits and then give Paul nothing as he tries to walk all over the panel.
Hey Tommy, I'm up. Are we gonna make progress here? I mean, or
London man, you hear me saying like I want to make this a thing on my channel, like make a show where when people see me do Jack and Margo, I want future conflicts to try and come get resolved. I don't want to just do it off the cuff right now. I want to be
okay.
prepared
All right.
and ready to
Well,
hear you both and
Tommy,
mediate.
Tommy,
Huh,
um,
huh.
why don't we take this opportunity for me to answer any questions you might have to, you know, maybe speed up this process? What can I share?
Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you, Margo.
Let me try and think of what I can ask that doesn't like. Why don't you both just lay out what it is we're going to be trying to resolve or handle overall? And then I'll know how to try and ask you to get, like, how I'll find the start and the basics. I want to try and sift out any unneeded information.
All right. Well, I guess I can start. Um, my reasons for uh, watching Jack have changed over the years that I have known him. Um, I became aware of Jack on three different levels. One was through the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. The second was through the United States Postal Service. A friend of mine works for the Postal Service, and Jack's name came up in conversation with some other people that knew Jack. And then through some of my students at junior high that Jack lives by. So, three different times in my past, Jack's name and situation came up. Um,
Mm,
for different
situation.
for different well, and then one time he did post on Facebook that he wanted to know more information about me, and my family members own a security company in Spokane, and they saw that as somewhat threatening considering I'm a single woman and lived alone. So Jack laughs, but when a man puts on Facebook that he wants to know more about a woman,
No, that's a that's a that's inaccurate, Margo. It's a
please
misrepresentation
do
of
not,
that.
Jack, please do not
Well,
interrupt me.
Margo, I'm
Jack,
just
I am
let it be
sharing,
shown
I am
I
sharing my
object to
story. I
your
am sharing
yeah.
my
Go
story.
ahead,
I am not
Margo. Right.
accusing you of anything.
Fill it with fear. Go ahead. Fill it with fear. People were frightened for you. They were just fucking terrified for you, weren't they?
No, Jack, no one was afraid.
All right,
No
go ahead.
one
Go
no
ahead.
one was afraid. I
Go
come
ahead.
from I come from a proactive family that decided that maybe they should keep their eyes on me a little bit more closely, as they did. And for that, I am thankful and I am
Feeding
blessed.
delusions. Yes.
And you're
Delusions
interrupting
were
me
enabled.
again.
All right, go ahead.
Jack, I will only remain here as long as you can respect me.
Well, that's
See now in
yeah.
my house, I could just like one at a time, yeah, and have already like negated that.
Exactly.
But
So I started watching Jack, and then I met some other people on here that I've grown to love. Cynthia.
Well, I'm really trying to be unbiased, but go ahead.
Okay, all right. Well, okay, I won't bring up.
No,
I
no,
won't. I
me and
won't.
Cynthia are,
I won't bring up names. But as time went on, I kept hearing Jack say that he wanted to end government secrets and that his goal is truth, and he is becoming a holier man, which I will agree with. He's a much nicer person than he was when he was sending audio to a friend named Jubilee. That was it was
oh,
mean,
I
and,
think I
and
remember. She's been up here before. I think I know who
yeah,
you're talking about.
yeah. So as time has gone on, Jack has become a kinder soul, and that's great. However, uh, I'm a goal oriented person. I've aspired to obtain many college degrees, and I have uh, gone up the ranks in the school districts and hospitals that I've worked with. So when I set a goal, I use the SMART goal algorithm. And with Jack's um, stated desires, I'll call them desires, to end wars and secrets and visit the UN. I have uh, had a lot of questions, and
That's why you get along with Cynthia,
I
huh?
feel that there's been a lack of defining how he's going to reach those goals, or even the next step. What is his next step in ending a secret? How do you end secrets?
You don't. They're very
Exactly. So
required.
so so I ask a lot of questions. I challenge Jack a lot,
We
and
all do.
and in doing so, I do know that there's been some clarity for the people in the chat, and hopefully Jack has grown with some of that.
All right,
When
but
I
retracing.
when I get frustrated, I will ask the hard questions. It's not animosity. It's, come on, give me something to work with here. Tell me what you're talking about. You know, I in my mind, there's been a lot of looping, and there's a lot of, the word truth, right? He
Hmm.
talks about
Hmm.
the truth constantly. Well, yes, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. Um, I believe that there is my truth. My truth is very
Uh-oh.
different than anybody else's truth.
Well, there's
Uh-oh.
our truths as far as what we experience that people aren't there for, but then there's the truth, like trigger warning, the shape of the planet. But what's the core thing here? Like whenever he just was inquiring about you, like are you both single?
Uh, I am now. I was not. I just ended a 10-year relationship.
Okay. So did you not? Because usually if somebody's asking about people on social media, that's my first assumption, especially if it's opposite sexes. But and if you do feel in danger of men, I would advise you to watch out as your state seems to be heavy with the oncoming refugees. I was just watching a thing where they'll take scooters and come up behind people and grab their phones and purses and stuff. Like my state, your state, California, New York, and a couple others are just gonna have that influx really soon because of the laws
Well,
changing.
Tucson is small enough that most of the immigrants hide
Oh,
here.
you're not in Washington right now.
No,
Oh, okay.
I relocated.
So
Uh,
what is the thing that, like, I know you're kind of just laying out the Jack thing that's typical of YouTube, but what is the thing you guys are actually clashing on?
I don't know what Jack clashes on me with. I challenge his goals and how he's going to progress.
I think a lot of us do that, and I think he chooses which of us he's going to tolerate it from. Um, I'm still. So is Margo just another person that's doing this, Jack? I thought there was like a specific thing with you two.
He's typing. I do want to
Hey,
answer.
Tom, this was, oh, go ahead, Margo.
Lindsay's asked if I feel endangered. I don't feel endangered by anyone. I protect myself. I come up on the show because I've made friends and I find it interesting, and I'll just come up high. I wonder if he's going to explain his goals more, his next steps more.
So
Um,
ending the
and
secrets of his goals.
and today my biggest question um is, he says that if he can just work with one person, if he can just find
No,
one
he says the
person
time
that
for
will listen to
waiting
him.
on others
You know
is
what?
over.
Okay, so once, that is a specific goal, but what is that going to achieve, and how is that going to work towards his goal of ending secrets and ending wars? Just talking to one person.
I'm focusing on the confusion of what Jack's goals, which are secret, are, and how to end the secrets of Jack's goals.
Correct.
I'm Talcotting. Well, I mean, I think we've all asked him that. I think he should put those a little on the back burner. I think even the direction of this channel, little.
Margo, thank you. If you want to continue this preparation with Tommy, feel free to reach out to him. Thank you. I don't want to throw you off the panel. You're welcome to stay and continue, but we're going to change the topic.
Did you become upset already?
No, Margo, I've just simply had enough. So, can you come back to what I said? You're welcome to stay, but we're going to change this topic, Margo.
Why?
Because I've been sitting here patiently for over 10 minutes watching Tommy waste all of our time with you while you are again given the opportunity for your false narrative and
What false
misrepresentation.
narrative? What did I say that was false?
Hey, Margo,
Yes.
you've said many things, exaggerating and
What did I say in the last 10 minutes that was false or
Hey,
exaggerated?
Margo, I'm not, as I said, if you want to continue the conversation with Tommy, you're free to do so, but I have no desire to continue arguing with you.
I'm not
If
arguing.
you
I'm
want,
asking a question. What did
Tom,
I say that was
Margo,
false? What did I say that was false, or what did I exaggerate with?
you've exaggerated your relationship with me. You've exaggerated
Well,
the
my
danger.
relationship with you, we don't have a relationship, Jack.
Right. But you have claimed to know me on
No,
many
I have
occasions.
not.
Okay, so Margo, since
Yes.
you don't like any of my answers, why are you here? Please leave.
You've become upset just like I claimed that you would.
What? What do you need?
Do you need anything else from Margo, or would you please excuse her from my experience of today?
See, Tommy, as always, he's become upset and he's just waiting for you to throw me off. So I'm not right.
I don't have that
Hey,
ability, but we
Tommy,
did
I
agree that
asked
he throws
you,
us off, and
I
we're
know.
halfway
Tom.
there.
Hey, Tom, I asked you. See,
Said you're an
neither of
open
you.
book.
Actually, London, are you here?
You
Are you
said you're an open book, and you're not an open book.
I'm certainly an open book, but I'm not here for your lunacy interrogation.
To ask what and
Lunacy?
Tom, you
you
don't
just confirmed
understand,
her first
Tom.
comment.
Tom, you don't understand the disagreements that are, you know what? Kiss my ass, Tom. Kiss my ass. You're out here looking for attention like some little needy child. And I didn't really want Margo up here today with the same nonsense and patterns that she's offered. London, are you seeing anything like what I'm seeing, or am I completely fucking alone again?
Well, I mean, I don't even know the lady, right? I don't even know her from anywhere, but I've seen her in your chat room, and I know you got some type of history. I'm not too familiar with the history, but you know, I can sense a rotten egg. I can sense a rotten egg, and you know, I feel like there was more she wanted to say, but she was kind of maybe too afraid to say what she really wanted to say. You know, it didn't seem like she was saying the right stuff to me. It seemed like she wanted to say more stuff. Maybe she's trying to save it for Tommy's day with you and her on the panel. I don't know, but yeah. I'm a good judge of characters. Certain people, their energy, yeah, something about the energy with her. I don't know, and I don't even know her.
She's fucking evil in my experience. Here,
I just don't get what the
Tom,
ever
see
was the
again.
issue.
You don't give a fuck. Here, I'm sorry. I dared to speak. It's Tommy's turn. Go ahead, Tom.
No, Jack, you've always talked about the Margo thing, but now that I've talked to you guys, it's like I don't understand why. I mean, it seems like you could just leave each other alone. I don't get what the conflict is. Is she like trying to spread a thing about you or what?
Tom, I've explained this how many fucking times? You don't remember any of my explanations?
Uh, Come on,
You
Jack,
claim,
what do you ever remember?
hey Tom, you claim to be some fucking expert on me and what I should do and what my son did and why my family did. You claim to be some
No,
fucking
no,
expert.
no, no,
I've
I've never
explained it
claimed that.
multiple times, Tom.
No, you've never really said
I've
what happened,
explained it many times.
why your
If you
family
were gonna
left.
guess, if you were gonna guess, Tom,
I'm not welcome here, I I'm probably the shortest lived panelist on this channel.
Tommy, are you victiming?
No, I just know the timer's usually short. I mean, I come up here first a lot, and that's the longest I'll be up here. But once Jack is on once he's focusing on confusions and conflicts and disagreements, I don't have much time to be here.
no, you don't.
I would say though, honestly, I expect Jack to get tense. If I had like weeks to go to a new place, I hate moving when I know where I'm going, much less have to figure something out.
I was going to ask you a really weird question, Jack. What happens if you just decided that you weren't going to fucking leave? Like, you know, like
I
if
don't
you
know.
just decided, hey, I'm not going to leave here. Like, suck it.
Well, he probably signed some kind of contract whenever he was selling it. Like the same reason he got to stay there a year is probably why they'll be able to kick him out, which is weird because there is weird squatter laws where it's like if you go in there after he's gone, those are the people that could probably squat.
And I was asking that question with all due respect because I see that there's a lot of that kind of stuff happening all
Oh, they're
over.
taking every house they can. They're trying to get you on that own nothing and be happy. Well, I don't know if they'll achieve to be happy. That's up to the individual, but I see it all going down.
Hey, I wanted to take it back to the original question that I think Jack got
Careful,
Margo up
careful.
here about you know, being kicked off the panel and stuff. Um, it's wild, right? I mean, when I see people getting kicked off panels, right, I look at it like in the same way how I would view them getting kicked out of a public arena. You know, it's for you. Sometimes it's on your own behavior. People don't act accordingly, and you can clearly see they're about to get kicked off, but they still don't kind of tone it down. It's just almost like being in someone's house, and you know you can see them getting upset, and you know you're pushing all the buttons to get kicked out when you should be really trying to squash it, I suppose, if you really want to move forward. or at least see the end of the game out in the venue.
Sterling, the original lease came out of his house sale money, but I won't doubt they'll try and sell it at a cost that technically, usually they sell your house at a cost you could have afforded under their new price, but I don't know how they're going to do it. America's going to the shitter.
I'm confused too because you've been sober for how many years, Jack? Like 5 years, right?
Not counting weed.
Coming up
Not
on 8.
okay. So like that's what confuses me about the whole Margo, talking to people in AA and getting her perspective about you from something that happened like 8 years ago. People change and people grow as they age, and I think it's kind of fucked up. I mean, I,
Oh, you
I, I think
telling me?
Margo's all right, but I think it's fucked up.
Dude,
Oh, the
I
Moose.
don't even
I
remember
agree.
stuff
Thank you,
people
Moose.
ask me about that. That girl was almost as long ago as her age was
Right.
back then.
Moose, did you just say Margo was at AA asking questions about Talcott? Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I shouldn't even have brought up the past, but it comes with the person that's from the past. Like when they're 8 years ago, they make their decision on who Jack is and how Jack's supposed to live his life, and then 8 years later, they're telling him, he's the same person or making
Oh,
things up. It's weird.
it's not quite like that, but I agree. It's fucking insane. It is absolutely delusional.
Well,
In the past,
regardless, there's a
in the
thing we get, there's
Tom,
a
would you
point we
shut
get
up,
to,
Tom?
there's a point we get to
Fuck
with
those
you
people.
where it's like the words don't mean the same thing that we're
Goodbye,
saying.
Tom. Goodbye. Done with you today.
I'm done with you today. See ya.
Good. Hank, you
No way. No way.
good.
No way. That was funny as
Wow.
fuck. Oh my god. Oh yes. Wow.
Talcott, you should remind everybody this isn't an airport. There's no need to announce their departure.
Holy shit.
That's what I was hoping to come up for, is to lighten the mood a little bit, Jack. It's okay. Take a deep breath.
Holy shit.
These
Wow.
guys have been getting at you for a little while now. This is nothing new for you, Jack. You know all about this stuff.
Praying for it to change.
Well,
I've been praying fucking ceaselessly, endlessly praying for mercy, for change.
a good source of change sometimes, Jack, is setting boundaries. I agree with London. Sometimes it's better to move on. Margo, and you've been at this the whole time I've watched your show, which has been about a year, and I haven't seen it changed. I thought last week when you had Paul up here and he was asking her why she was still looping and LARPing like she was, I thought that at that point it would stop. But it seems to me that this has become just part of your storyline that she doesn't want to give up on. It's looking petty.
Thank you. It's there's a number of people. And I've been patient, I've been kind. I've repeatedly explained myself. I've repeatedly defended myself. And I have repeatedly begged, pleaded for opportunities to have a conversation. I've tried hiring people. This Margo lady, I've shared before, there's a clown in town, and I know, everyone can fucking complain about my choices, but I paid a man several $1,000s. I paid several people, different people, several $1,000s to help me try and have a conversation. Margo was on that fucking list. Even here, I still can't get people to help me have a conversation. It's unbelievable. But praise God, this is the path, and I know it's going to change. I know this is all working towards, a greater resolution, and each day I'm learning. Today, I'm already not happy with myself, but
Aw, Jack, don't hurt my meta feelings. I'm up here to have a conversation with you, sir.
Right. You're right. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can tell you're really getting yourself into that momentum. A lot of us that like to hang around are aware of your the patterns. You're really starting to beat yourself up on this whole thing, and your teachings say the opposite. So let's see, rise above it. And me personally, I didn't see Tommy doing anything any different than Tommy ever has. Tommy was just being Tommy. It was just a very irritating subject for you. But maybe in Tommy's way, he really was trying to help resolve whatever the Margo. I mean, for Tommy to not know about Margo was hilarious to me. But hey, it's gonna be all right, Jack.
Hey, Yolanda, thank you. You righteously checked me. Thank you. And
It's all good, Jack.
kindly. And you're right. Tommy was well behaved. I think my frustration came with his. I thought Tommy cares about me. You know, I thought people care. I think people care about me by what they say. And then when it turns out they don't have a fucking clue, they just haven't been paying any attention. And yet they've been so critical, so quick to condemn me and to insult me. Tommy did nothing wrong. Margo, Margo's on her path as well, and eventually her confusion will stop being enabled. That was honestly my hope when Tommy alluded that he was willing to have conversations. I thought he actually cared about what was true, but Tommy wants to confirm his preconceived notions as well. And
Well, Jack, before I've been up here and I reminded you that us as audience members and panelists as well think we know your story just as well as you do because you share so much with
you're right.
everybody.
You're right.
And again, Tommy wasn't being any different than Tommy is. And I thought Tommy was reaching out and trying to figure this out in Tommy's way.
You're right.
Just like when
You're right.
Snafu, even though he can be a type of way, he reached out to you to go over onto Bex's channel. So for me, I want to remind you from looking on the outside in, these guys do care about you. They do talk about you. You know, if you were irrelevant, no one would be talking about you. There are many shows, many panelists that become irrelevant in this world. And you are relevant in everybody's storyline. So even though your expectations of what you expect from us don't follow through, maybe reach out to your chat from time to time and be like, you did earlier, is it just me? That way it might help you ground a little bit more.
I don't know, Yolanda. I hear what you're saying, but part of it I disagree with the characters that you say care for Jack. In order for someone to really care about someone, they have to be willing to listen. Some of these folks don't even let Jack land his plane. They don't even listen to him all the way.
Yes, I agree, but at the same time, Jack allows it.
Well,
so I mean, I'm being polite, you know,
you're
like
right.
you
Yes.
allow them
Yeah.
in, they have conversations with you, and they behave this way,
You're right.
and that's where I'm saying the expectations, even though these people exhibit the things that we may not really find honorable. If they weren't irrelevant, then they wouldn't be around. Is my point, and I'm not putting my expectations of what friendship or anything like that is on here either, because I'm in my confusion from all these panels every day. So
It's an interesting experience, that's for sure. You've offered great reminders, and here, guys, authentically. I mean, I see, God, with so many people, so many adversaries, I feel I have to be so damn cautious about every word I choose to share because everything I say gets twisted around. But I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know how to explain myself any better than I have been. I've been begging for people to please help me better explain. Help me find resolve. And I don't it's a bizarre life and I've been learning to accept it. I have great faith and hope for what the future might bring because this is not me. I mean, I've gotten blamed. I've taken full responsibility. I accept full responsibility. I failed as a father. I failed to communicate. I failed to do everything that everyone has said. But I'm not to blame. I mean, it's like, regardless what people think has happened, in my life or in this world, this is what we've got to realize. This is what I've been realizing. I really think my life, I'm just like everyone else. I've been blessed with opportunities to learn and to realize different things in life. We've all got to find a way to move beyond collectively and individually. If we want life to get better, we've got to find a way just to pick up and find and choose to be better, choose to solve the problems. We spend so much time. So I mean, our legal system, our entire government system, people spend years tied up in these unresolved litigations and investigations and then arguing and blaming. And in the meantime, what are we doing to solve the problems?
Jack, Margo's down there in the chat, and she said that you could possibly send her flowers, and I think that's what the problem is that Margo wants positive attention from you. Maybe that's what it is.
Golly geez, you know what? I bet you're right. I would love to. Go ahead. Were you going to say something?
Well, I thank you for saying that, Moose. Um, I think that's a different way of looking at it. You know, like I can't figure out why you two can't come eye to eye at this point. It's almost like watching people in a personal relationship, like you're dating. That's like the dynamics that I hear between you guys. So um, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys be able to resolve this at some point. Honestly,
Me too.
um,
Thank you.
yeah. And these questions, Jack, are tough, but I say that these are the stepping stones for you to get over to NATO, right? Like you need to have the difficult discussions with people. You know, you got to build up that armor.
I agree with that, right? But this is where I'm going to give the pushback. If for when I've got someone saying to me they want to publicly talk about this, right? That's when I'm like, yeah, you're not the one for me. Why can't we just do it backstage? Why does everyone need to see and hear what is really going on? Why can't we come to a resolution behind closed doors, you know, and then come back out on the main stage? Because it's just going to bring more drama, in my opinion, when you do these type of things on the main stage, especially when the type of characters that are involved. You're better off just talking behind closed doors.
This is why, I mean,
I agree with London on this topic,
yes,
the Margo subject. I agree with that.
well, I do as well. I've attempted with Margo, with Paul, with many others. I've attempted communication, and my attempts at private communication are refused. So then my hands are tied. Because this is where, and again, I mean, this is where I've been asking for someone to help. Is I mean, just because I can't get someone's attention doesn't mean that someone else can't. And just because I can't get someone's attention doesn't mean that I shouldn't get their attention. And in my case, honestly, I'm talking about, well, I believe if my son was encouraged to have a conversation with me, I know he's going to be pretty happy. He's going to be pretty proud to know me again. Oh, and here's the thought I realized. I know that people find confusion with me. It's the way I talk, it's the way whatever. I'm a little different. I know that when my friends and people from the past, if they were asked why they're avoiding me, I'd bet you money it's not even real. They've imagined things. They believe in things that are not real. And then I've been dealt the responsibility of that. Margo Davy is exactly another example of that. She's a lady who honestly has no part in my life beyond the informal friendly relationship from my brief time in recovery. And yet, and yet, for whatever reason, she's become quite a long part of my story.
Well, I tried to
I
come
know
up and give you just a little bit of motivation.
you do.
And
You
I
do.
know that a lot of these guys are really good about putting a fire under your ass every day, so you don't need that from me. But on that note, good luck. It was nice seeing you, Moose. I haven't seen you around. Good to be up on panel with you. London, much respect. Take care, everybody. I'll see you around.
Thanks, Yoli. You brought
Thanks,
some
Yolanda.
nice energy up here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Good stuff.
Absolutely. You're welcome. And I truly appreciate it. And
Now it's the triple threat.
well, admittedly, here's where I am. I am just like in my past. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm getting sick and tired of feeling like I should apologize. And yet, here again, I allowed myself to get triggered and to respond or react, rather, from the situation and my thoughts more than what was actually here. So, eventually, well, here's the other thing. I mean, sincerely, Tommy, Margo, you, Paul, you guys, I swear to God, I am a lot of fun to be around when I'm not having to defend myself or when I'm not scrambling, wondering what my future's going to be. So I look forward. I've pictured this recently. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know, but I trust my son and I will reunite. We'll have conversations and we'll be able to laugh about the confusion of the past real soon. And then I look forward to having my son with me. I hope he would join. Or friends of the past. Or or whatever. Like I said, I'll get a hold of people in somewhere. I have great hope and faith for the future, but it's partly because of who I am. I know I'm not going to quit. I know I don't have an option to quit. And that's where I started in this stream earlier today. I mean, I know I do. I give exceptions. I give reasons to believe that I'm not who I say or as I say, but my goal is to become more of a peaceful man, to become more of a holy person, right? To be more spiritual, more kind, more grounded. It is my goal. And it's just logic and reasoning that makes me believe that it should lead to something, right? And I have faith it will. I have faith that, holy cows, what is my goal? My goal is to serve God, nothing more. I pray to serve God, and I pray to be worthy of all that God has allowed me to receive. And I feel an abundance of gratitude for all I've been allowed to receive. And I pray to find or create opportunities to share some of the things I've received with others. So, Margo, that's my goal.
I'll tell you my goal. My goal is to complete all my motherfucking goals. That's my goal.
Like that as well. I don't know. Thoughts on finding meaning? Yeah, completing our goals. What do we do to find meaning, or what do you offer to someone who is struggling to find meaning in their life?
I feel like most of the people we come in contact with, they don't even really have goals. You know, I feel like at some point, some of us never had goals. You know, but we choose to set goals ourselves. You know, achievements. But I can speak for myself. You know, I've achieved some of the things that I set out to do. You know, but the road is still long. There's so much to learn, man. There's still so much to learn.
That is one of my goals too. Well, I mean, I've got a lot of personal goals for myself. I want to see how much I can learn in this lifetime. I want to see how much I can achieve. I want to discover unique places. Well, discover and meet unique people and places.
Mm-hmm.
I spent a long time trying to fit in with this world, and I see this. There was a comment here. There's all these, little jabs people offer in their comments. You can serve God while working for an employer. No disagreement. No disagreement. But many people lie to themselves and then they start treating their employer like God, placing their boss above the family, the weekends. No, I'm on call. I got to serve the boss. I got to make the money. And
some of them start sleeping with their God.
Yep. Yep. This life is something fascinating. Hey, Kim, I think the best way, I don't know if there's any escape, to be honest. Here. Yeah, I don't think there's any escape, dude. I think what we've got to do is transform, transmute. We've got to incorporate ourselves into the community that has been forming, and then collectively we can unite and raise the whole group, the whole enchilada.
Yeah, I don't think nobody wants out of this community. They'll be lying if they say they did. Everybody comes back eventually to the madhouse once they get out to the open world. They're like, fuck this, I'm going back to the madhouse.
I'd walk away if I had options. Be honest. I don't know. Actually, I've given that some thought too. I don't envision myself in entertainment and broadcasting, but it seems like Paul and Z, those guys got the flair. You too, London, your creativity and editing. I don't know. I see others who may have that path of broadcasting and entertainment. I'm just using this as a tool, to be honest. Because, well, my purpose is motivation. It's inspiration. It is to help others find clarity in their goals, because that's what happened for me. Others helped me find clarity in my goals, help me discover my purpose and my self-worth, and help me learn. So I want to do that. I want to pass that on. I want to help others. And the idea is, I got into the self-development field idea because when I discovered that, holy crap, Jack, yeah, even though you're here, you might be able to do some things and end up doing more. When I got that idea for myself, well, I thought, well, if I could share that, and that's when I learned about life coaches. Coaching is just kind of helping be the advocate and the encouragement, bring the finesse to the style, bringing style and technique to some of the basics. And I'm a good learner. I study very well. I've been studying a whole bunch of different modalities and methods from other people. I'm sure that if given the opportunity, I can help others change their lives. That's what I'm doing here. And folks who tune in, in some ways you are.
Mm-hmm.
When we tune into each other, we are helping each other change our lives. Because nobody rises or falls entirely alone. There's other people involved. And I think all of us, we could all use a little encouragement, a little encouragement, motivation, right? Sometimes a little check too. Brotherly, hey, pull your head out of your ass. What are you doing, man?
Definitely. I mean, I got an idea. It might sound a bit goofy, right? But just from observing, the time that you put in and the content that you bring and the angle that you come at, right? I was thinking, since you're somewhat of like, the lines of a life coach, right? In life, there's ups and downs, roundabouts, and all these things, right? I mean, it would make sense if you, this is my opinion, if you would like maybe when you go live once in a while, like come a bit more, for lack of better words, more goofy, right? Not always on this type of vibe. Like show them the funny side of life, right? There you go. You're smiling. That side of life. That side. See that smile? What you just did? Yeah. Show them that side of life, right?
Yeah, you're right.
That side of life.
It's more encouraging. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Get more. What is it? More flies with honey, bees with honey, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sweetness, you're right. Sweetness. And this is what I learned too. We learn best when we're having fun, when we feel safe, right? Safety is one of the most important things. First, we feel safe, but then if we can have fun while we're learning, and it's easy to have fun when we're learning, especially if we know what the goal is, what is possible by achieving, by learning what we're learning. Fun is how we're supposed to learn. We're children. We learn through play. We learn through games. That's why I think the creator created this simulation of life for us. It's a game. But I think it might be a game when you cooperate with the rules, but when you don't understand the rules, this place it's torture, prison. Were they up to 30,000 in Palestine over the past, 4 months?
What, deaths?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't aware. Well, ouch.
The numbers are continuing to grow, and the U.S. Golly geez, this nonsense. Hey, I know I am not alone. I know I'm not alone in people who say enough is enough. This sickness of the way the corporate and government structures are set up, the way that it is completely being piss poorly administered. And I know there's things we can do. I just haven't found.
You're definitely not alone. And a lot of us look at what's going on in the world today, and we're all like, what the hell? Like, we have technology that can solve all these problems, but it's not solving the problems. The people that are in charge of the countries are basically running everything into the ground, whether it's from capitalism or not. It's still the people that have the power to make these changes. Even though we have power to make small change, these guys are running everything.
Yeah. And it's gotten out of control. I mean, if you watch some of the media, watch some of the puppetry, watch some of the pageants of these World Economic Forum, these leaders, they put on this air that they know so much. They know so much better than everybody else. What in the hell are we doing allowing that game to continue? That's what I don't understand. I mean, we have the power if we just stop fighting over stupid nonsense. And I'm talking about on these panels and stuff. Margo,
You're right.
in real life, dude, Margo, I am not your fucking enemy. If you know people, you alleged that she alleged her daughter or someone goes to school with my son, and there's been lots of things said, but I'm not the enemy.
Jack, have you ever played Monopoly?
Yeah.
Have you ever sat down and played Monopoly and actually had a good time? Because I haven't. See,
No.
the only way to win at Monopoly is to basically throw the board over and walk away.
Yeah. And that's what I would like to be a part of us collectively doing. Because poverty is real. War is real. All these damn opinions we've got of each other, all these excuses, those aren't real.
Of course, I would agree. I mean, because half of the time, some of us aren't even being real to ourselves when we're up here.
That's kind of the key. But see, this is the problem. Not the problem. This is an observable. It's true. The game of life. We can believe whatever we want. We can pretend and believe anything we want. It doesn't even have to be true. But we have been mass fed lies collectively. The propaganda and the influence, the mind control, the misinformation has been very successful. So,
I want to jump in on London's point about how many of us aren't, true to ourselves on these panels. Because in this world, we're not rewarded for being honest, kind individuals. If you're kind to other people, you're often prey in the wild. You're often, ridiculed and taken advantage of. And when you're genuine and you're trying to be yourself, oftentimes you don't get rewarded. So it's almost like a Pavlovian thing where the bell rings and the food's there. Well, it's the same thing with being a jerk or being inauthentic. You get rewarded for being inauthentic. You get rewarded for being a jerk. You get rewarded for just going and causing chaos. You don't always get rewarded for just being yourself.
Depends where you are, Moose. Depends where you put yourself. You put yourself in the right place, more times you'll get rewarded.
You're right. That's why I've taken myself out of a lot of places.
There you go, my man.
hey, and with this, I mean, you're right. We're not always accepted and appreciated. But London, I agree with you too. It's up to us to try and find our way to where we're appreciated and welcome. But regardless where we are, the key, the goal, be happy, smile, be fearless, and most importantly, be you. That really is the theme of what I want to get out today. It's okay to be you. Welcome, Tark.
Hey Jack, how are you? Hey London, hey Moose.
Satat. Assalamu
Why do
alaikum.
you
Rahmatullah.
You sound a little down, Tark, and I'm not saying that as being an asshole. I just you do sound kind of down. What's going on, dude?
I'm good. How are you? Like, I agree with you. Like, a lot of people that are nice, that do good things in life, don't get rewarded. But if you are in touch with the being and the conscious and God, you already know this world is not for you. You get rewarded when you die.
Yes. And well, I can't say conclusively on the future, but I know there's a lot of words promising blessings for the afterworlds. But oh crap. Sorry, there was something you said that I was coming back to.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying, Jack, is like, I'm not saying you can't get rewarded here either in this world. Just don't accept it. Like, don't look forward for it. It'll come by itself. That's why I think London said perfectly. Like, depends where you're at, location, where you put yourself into, and all that. That will put you in a situation where you're looking for the wrong reward.
There you go.
There you go.
The reward is simply the treasure the treasure for heaven, in my view, it's our memories of, a job well done, a good accomplishment, good choice, following the path. I think those are the treasures. And that is what I have found peace within myself. Because we'll all face these times where the world will separate us, where we will be isolated from others. And that loneliness, it can break us. But I think the purpose is in the solitude. That's where we can understand our value, right? And if we can learn how to love ourselves in spite of, right? In spite of our mistakes, in spite of the opinions of others, in spite of the pending debts or the bank account. If you can love yourself in spite of what the world offers, that is the goal and the key. Because the other part too about rewarding, I see a future where our world is less focused on the punishments and on the rewards, and where we're more focused on sharing the abundance, helping each other grow. I think that is the future for humanity.
Yep, Jack. And to point out, like, you can't let other people tell you who you are, because like there's people in the chat saying, "Oh, Moose is inauthentic," because they expect me to come up here and say everything I disagree with, with you, and start a big old fight over what I think you should be doing with your life, or what they think you should be doing with your life, stuff like that, right? And it's like, I used to let that shit guide me. I used to let that thing guide me like a homing missile, right? And it's terrible. It's terrible when you let somebody else decide who you're going to be and how you're going to act. And um, when you finally drop the charade, you finally take control of your life. A lot of people are going to walk away. A lot of people are going to say, hey, this guy's totally fucking bullshit, or he's fake, or whatever. But anybody who's met me in real life knows that I'm totally not about that. I'm not about that life. Like, I'm about trying to build community, and I don't have to agree with everything that you say. I don't have to agree with everything London says or Tarek says, but the fact that we could all have a conversation and we could all, discuss things, and I think that is more powerful than just tearing each other down to try to, like, conquer someone or whatever.
Absolutely.
I agree. I mean, I have noticed the change in Moose, right? Before, I used to give Moose a bit of pushback from time to time, right? Would call him, the slimy one, wouldn't really trust that sector. But I have seen a big improvement from Moose, right? And it makes me happy to see, someone like Moose, do a complete turnaround and just hold himself accountable as well. There's not many people holding themselves accountable, So I think Moose is very familiar with the mirror, and salutes to that, man.
Sometimes it's ugly, dude. I had to go through a period where I didn't believe what I was doing, I tried to tell Jack, "Oh, I was trying to do this for you, or I was trying to do that for you." I'm using Jack specifically because we're on Jack's panel. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
I have to be able to sleep at night. I have to be able to look in the mirror and accept the person that's in the mirror, and not look at him like he's a monster. Like, I don't want to be a monster. I want to be who I am.
Mm.
Well, it's a hell of an admission, but right there, Moose. That's something to be said. To recognize that in oneself is a huge, huge jump for a lot of people who can't even look at themselves.
Hey, and I fully recognize there's been a lot of growth. I see a lot of men and women figuring themselves out, figuring out what is really going on here on these crazy YouTube YouTube dynamics. I see a lot of good people, right? Just like me. Different than me. But
Jack, do you see him improving or not? I see him not improving. Most of them.
really? I see many people improving. There's some that actually I don't know if maybe, well, there's a possibility too. I can hear Flo's voice in my head. There's a possibility too I'm giving more credit than what they should receive.
That's funny. I can definitely hear Flo saying something like that.
Right? I think he said that before.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack, can I ask you something before
Yeah.
we go too far from the thought? and not to challenge people's personal beliefs by any station, but I would challenge a thought that kind of rolled by and everybody kind of took it for granted, which is to say that there's some suggestion of a greater reward after life, when it's pretty clear that part of the gift of living or sentience or physical awareness is the ups and downs, that we can't have a comparative, at least in my mind, in my belief structure. I can't say this for anybody else, but I would urge people to maybe, reach to that happiness in the, I don't know what it's called, sorrowful joy, the recognition that there is going to be the down, that we have to take something from it as lesson, maybe, and I say maybe because not everything is worthwhile to take as a lesson when you fall down or somebody kicks you down, that's a thing that happens. We aren't always responsible for every time we fall, which is a misnomer of the modern capitalist idea. I would honestly say that this idea that somehow everything that happens to us is somehow our fault is not true. You can get stabbed by a stranger, you can have your home invaded, you can have all these things. And I'm sorry not to get too far off, but I would ask, how did people feel about maybe if folks felt that heaven was on earth now, that maybe they would be more open to being kind to those who were kind, to those who were genuine, those who were honest, and I think that the vicious cycle of, a return to the pre-1890s, where we had to protect ourselves because there were vicious marauders with guns. There was no law there. In general, it was unless you were in a large city and you happened to be lucky to have, and obviously there's corruption. We have a lot of work to do. There's no question about the amount of work. Sorry to go off on this, but it just, I think it would people feel that folks would be more open to being earnest and honest and less vicious if they were more recognizing that heaven could be living?
That actually is just kind of what I skimmed through it earlier, but I mentioned the belief that we're here to bring the new world into being. And looking at the aspects of science, I agree time is an illusion. So if all time is in the present and it is the present right now, well, that means that heaven is now. And so, or the new world is now. And that's the mindset that I have been trying to build within myself, Aaron, is if this is heaven, if this is God's kingdom, if I bring God's presence into my experience in God's kingdom, well, that's just like heaven, right?
What would you say? I'm sorry.
Because, and here's what I'm saying. I heard Aaron talk about, like, let's just think this is heaven, maybe better and have a better thing.
Hold on, you're borging, Tarek. You're borging, Tarek.
Robot.
Hold on 1 second. You hear me better now? All right. How about now?
It may be. Yep.
Yeah, a bit better.
All right.
Better, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Because, like, when you say let's just say this is heaven, if you take like the everything that's going on in the world, there's no way you can say this is heaven.
I think maybe what you're mistaking as the suggestion of heaven is interpolating something that is part of your belief structure as opposed to part of the sense of living or joy over existentialism, or joy over sentience, joy over just being, the ups and downs of that. Because in my interpretation, I see, I don't really have a sense of quote unquote heaven. So if I was to find it in my sense of being, I'd say it's both living and whatever could come afterwards. I think it's all of it. Now, it's not, I don't know if heaven is perception or perfection. It could be to you. I give you that. Yeah, like the flaw in my logic may be to you that your heaven is something that's absolute perfection. I just don't see it in the universe. Perfection isn't anywhere in the universe. So if the universe is God, then that imperfection is part of it all. The failings of one portion, the changing, the variance, the indecipherable, portions of the galaxies that don't make any sense to the quote unquote what we call laws. There's so much that we don't know and don't understand clearly. So the idea that there's some human perception or choice of what is, to me, and this is just to me, because I could give to you that your point may be true, but to me, it seems like there's just too much message that imperfection is perfection. That balance of the yin and yang of imperfection is heaven. Is life, is eternal, is the joy of this folly of learning. And now that I could be wrong, but that's how I live it so I get a sense of joy out of life. And that was what I really pose is not so much an idea of, Curly Gates heaven, but finding joy in our life, finding joy in existentialism, finding joy in existentialism. I purely mean just existing, sentience, understanding sentience, or getting to understand
it. Hey, just before anyone else touches the mic, Jack, thank you for having me up. It's been a pleasure.
Respect to you, London. Much love,
Been a pleasure. Much
man.
love, brother. I'll catch
Sorry.
you overseas if anything.
Peace,
Hey,
London,
peace to
man.
the chat, peace to the chat room, and peace to the panel. Much love, Moose, Tarek, Aaron, Talcott.
Peace.
Much love.
Beautiful, brother.
Was that any better explanation? I'm sorry, Tarek.
Yeah, Aaron, I know I get your explanation, and here's my reply. I understand what you're saying about my belief, or anybody that maybe that's maybe a Jew, Christian, Muslim that believe in heaven. Let's just say I'm an atheist, right?
Sure.
Okay, and then we'll take Jack's point when he says he wants to change the world, which I agree with him in terms of like all the stuff that's happening in the world. Do you agree there's a lot of bad things happening on this earth, on this planet? A lot. I mean, a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, there's things we would term as humans, from our point of view, as bad for all sorts of reasons. Yes. From murder absolutely. From our point of view, yes.
Yeah, slavery, trafficking, you name it, like corruption everywhere, a lot of stuff. I won't even get in details, but that's why I look at it. Even if I was an atheist, I would try to enjoy my life every day. I get up every day. I work about 60 hours a week. I still get up every day and motivated. I work out, I eat healthy, I enjoy my life and my family and everybody else. But I still don't think if this is it, like this is how we're supposed to, this is heaven, then that's, to me, that wouldn't be something that I look forward to.
Well, I kind of, and I understand that. I would say that if this isn't it, which it could not, it could be that something afterwards is greater or the same. Imagine, and this is the other option, is people don't talk about often enough. What if it's the same? What if it's not, or just a different variance of the same shtick? We're promised these things by our other humans. So this is why I question that, because we're so tiny. We're who's in Whoville. So I question these things, that there could be anything better or different that doesn't involve some chaos or some disorder. Now, that doesn't mean it's not true. We could move on to another dimension that is better, because there is the idea that order in the mathematical sense does exist in some other versions of this reality and other realities. And that could be whether you're just vapor, listen, for lack of a better word, or, your essence, your soul, your energy, as a waveform floating about in the universe. And I don't want to get too woo-woo or into the physics, but I think that these things are, there's so much from our point of view. I agree with you. There could be such a better choice for heaven. And I think that's why we imagine it for hope. And I think that we imagine it for the beauty of fantasy. I don't say that it shouldn't or can't exist. That's another thing, is I think it's important. All these things like faith, super important, right? But the answer really comes down to is that if it is better, then good for us. And then for me, at least, it's like, oh my God, this is even better. Which I've told the story of the guy on the road to go see the Buddha, where the dude who ends up becoming enlightened first is the one who really just enjoys their life. That's where I get that from, to be honest with you. it's changed the way I look at life. So, you know, if the shitty things here, and I'll wrap it up. I'll end the plane. I apologize. The shitty things here right now are just as good as you know, the good things in some way, shape, or form, because we learn. Then if heaven is the same, well, okay, cool. Then I know how to love it. If it's even better, then oh my God, the grace and glory, wow, amazing.
I got you. What do you think, Jack?
I think I'm ready to shut the stream down. I appreciate these conversations, but I think these conversations can be had without me.
Oh no, Jack, that was the whole thing. Is I wanted to hear about your point of view about the sense of living in heaven. You just started to get into it when Tarek asked the question, which, you know.
All right, Jack. You said you want to get out of here, so I just want to say thanks for everything, and I hope you have a great night, brother. Peace.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Respect to you. I'll probably touch it in my final words, but I think it is time to wrap up. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Todd.
All right,
You
no
have a
problem,
good
Jack.
evening.
Yeah, you too.
Much love and respect. Thank you sincerely, all of you brothers and sisters who joined the panel, joined the chat, tune in at a later time. Interesting stream for myself again. Tommy, thank you. Margo, thank you. I appreciate all of the participation, including the people that I didn't get offended at or that I didn't offend. I appreciate everyone who joined. The idea of that last topic regarding heaven, the new world, living as is, living as though, right? It's not so much a fake it till you make it. It's the recognition that in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual aspect of who you are beyond the time, you're beyond the form, you're beyond the limits. So from that mindset, all is accessible in the now. And if you can create within yourself the mindset, the energy of wholeness, of completeness, of contentment, of abundance, of health, if you can find within yourself those energies, those states of being, the universe works with that. I mean, this is what I've been learning is the spiritual aspect of life. It's what I've been trying to talk about. Why it seems I deserve such vitriol and such accusations, such patterns. It blows my mind, but praise God. Praise God. This is my path, and I don't mean to be here complaining online because I'm very, very grateful. I am very, very grateful of the life I am living. And the life I am living, it has allowed me personally to discover what I consider to be heaven, heavenly experiences, spending time each day with devotion and mental, spiritual, physical attachment and connection to the divine, to the bliss of what is. Brothers and sisters, there's spiritual aspects to you, to us all. And if in fact you are a child of God, if you are in fact here to be an authentic part of God's creation, the creation of the day, where you are a living truth. You're not above the truth, you're not below the truth, but you are filled with the truth and you are consumed with the truth. And you seek the truth, you know the truth, you want the truth, you share the truth. Well, that's who we are. But by God's grace, we get to believe anything we want. And we can pretend like there's many people who you'll see it on the streams. If you just look, there's many people who play this stupid game where they pretend they've got some sort of superiority over me. And they're telling me what to do and what I am and what I should think. And I'm like, well, there's other ways to see this stuff, right? All you got to do is look at the information a little differently and you'll come to a different conclusion. And brothers and sisters, right there, simple trick. It's the path for freedom in your mind. The path to freedom in your mind is to identify the confusion. Look beyond the confusion, or just set the confusion down. Not every disagreement, not everything that is confusing is an obstacle, right? Anyway, I should wrap this up. Sincerely, what I want to express today, the thumbnail and the purpose, right? The reminder for us. There is one creator, one God, one love, one time, one progression of time created the multiplicity so the gift of individuation may become realized through you today. So for you to become realized, for the individuation of you to become realized, be happy, smile, be fearless, and most importantly, be you. I think that is all I want to offer. I feel whole and complete, and I pray that you receive some good energies for you, and we'll see what happens again in the future. Thank you again, sincerely. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all.